What's going on, everybody? You back rocking with your boy Sweet Science. You on the air. You probably think it's the same video, but nah, it's not. I'm just on one right now. You know what I'm saying? It's a wonderful time in boxing. They say boxing's dead, but how could that be? They still got the highest paid fighters. You understand me? They still selling pay-per-views. You understand me? They getting articles every week. They got stars in boxing. Boxing ain't dead, and if it was, it's been back to life for quite some time now, for a couple or a few years now. So, salute to boxing. I love this sport. I love this sport. So what I'm going to talk about right now is Tyson Fury running out on his contract with Deontay Wilder. I know the UK fanboys is gonna love this one. Let's talk about it. Tyson Fury running out on his contract with Deontay Wilder. When Tyson Fury was the one who disappeared from the heavyweight ranks and from boxing altogether because he got caught on nandrolone, into which they lied and said that it was due to a coke binge. Either way you look at it, it's a disgrace to boxing. A coke binge. Okay, fine. He gets suspended for 2 years, however long it was, and he balloons up and no one was talking about Tyson Fury. You all had written him off. You all had all but forgot about Tyson Fury. And Deontay Wilder, having the kind heart that he does, reached into the depths and gave Tyson Fury a chance to redeem himself, his family name, his legacy. He gave Tyson Fury that shot and that chance. Tyson Fury then comes into the first Deontay Wilder fight cheating. We all saw it. He had his hand slid down into the wrist area and was punching Deontay Wilder with his actual fist in the first fight. However, due to his layoff, he couldn't perfect his cheating technique. Wilder was able to floor him twice. The second time, I thought he died for a second or two. He got up on 11, but he got up. And we got ourselves a draw. So, he then is offered a deal by ESPN due to where they saw this whole ordeal going with Wilder and a Wilder trilogy. He got his deal with ESPN, ran off from the original rematch with Wilder to take his quote-unquote $100 million deal with ESPN. Tyson Fury. He then fights two bums, really loses to one of them. You know what? I'm not going to call Otto Wallin a bum. You know what? Excuse me. Let me digress on Otto Wallin. I'm not going to call that man a bum because he beat Tyson Fury. Otto Wallin beat Tyson Fury. That fight should have been stopped, and you all know it. Cut it out. That fight got stopped for a cut that was worse than Vitaly Klitschko's versus Lennox Lewis. And that fight got stopped. So don't tell me about any cuts and what fight should have and should not have gotten stopped. Otto Wallin was robbed of his victory of Tyson Fury. He then comes into the Deontay Wilder 2 fight, cheating again. Explain to me why they put a towel over the camera and then cut the camera off in his dressing room. Explain to me. Explain that. Explain to me why. In your rebuttal, in your comments, in your videos. Explain to me why Mauricio Suleiman said that he was in both dressing rooms when there's footage that he wasn't. Actual footage I've seen with my own 2 eyes. Right? Explain to me why a Vegas photographer took photos, actual photos, of Tyson Fury, and we all saw that he had no padding in his gloves. I don't think Deontay Wilder was hit with a blunt object. I think when Tyson Fury told us that he was going to dip his hands and gasoline 5 times a day before that fight, that was for a reason. If your wraps are on properly and your gloves are too, what reason would you have to dip your hands in gasoline to harden them if you don't have any intention of your hands coming into contact with your opponent? So he cheated Wilder in the second fight. Gets the belt from Wilder illegally. Runs off with it. Wilder immediately activates his rematch clause. Right? Immediately activates his rematch clause. Tyson Fury then gets frantic. Comes up with every excuse to not fight him. He's a bum. If that was the case, you shouldn't have fought him to begin with. If he was a bum. Comes up with every excuse to not fight him. And then in a contract, unlike a man, he runs off just like he did when he abandoned his license in the UK when Martin Carefoot came out and told us then that Tyson Fury is a dishonest fighter. And the UK supports this. This is why the UK has no respect. So he runs off. ESPN announces Tyson Fury versus Carlos Takam. Anthony Joshua left over so he can go ahead and try to move forward to ditch out of the opportunity of giving Wilder a shot back at the belt that Wilder gave him a shot at to begin with when he was forgotten about to fight Anthony Joshua. If you support this, you are trash. That's all I got to say about that. Tyson Fury is a disgrace. He's a fucking, he's less than a piece of shit in my book. And if you support Tyson Fury honestly, as an honest person, no matter where the fuck you're from, if you support Tyson Fury with all these fucking antics and all of this crazy shit and all of this cheating and all of this lying, you don't count for shit. So fuck Tyson Fury and Tyson Fury fans. Fuck Daniel Callahan, whoever the fuck that dude is that fucking manages him. Fuck anybody involved with Tyson Fury. Nicholas Asbury, his sparring partner, told you this as well. How many fucking accusations have to come out about a guy before it's taken heed? If all this shit would have came out with Wilder, he would be in jail right now. Or you would be calling for him to be in jail. Tyson Fury needs to be banned from the sport. I'm tired of seeing him, and I'm tired of hearing about him. Again, you rocking with Sweet Science Show on the air. Subscribe to the channel, beat the like button up, and I'm gone.